Just when people thought Justin Baldoni was finally the bad guy, Blake Lively proved she will always be the bad guy.
The internet's buzzing with speculation that there was more happened behind the scenes. I believe this. I believe that she liked him. She kind of fell for him. Those scenes were super steamy. Like, they had great chemistry. You could see that in the movie. And she was very kind of flirtatious in that video when they were kind of dancing side by side. And I think there was like text messages going back and forth. I think Ryan Reynolds saw something. I think then he got involved. Then he's poking fun on the Deadpool movie, the nice pool comments and all that stuff about him.
This is my celebrity couple. Like, this is my celebrity couple that I would double date with my husband. Now, I find them so annoying.
So what exactly did this lawyer say to send Blake Lively into full-blown damage control mode? Well, according to inside sources, it wasn't just one tiny detail, it was an avalanche of revelations that painted a very different picture from the picture-perfect love story the public has been fed for years. And no, it wasn't some random tabloid speculation. This was a lawyer, someone dealing with actual facts, legal documents, and, brace yourself, receipts.
Justin Baldoni has come with receipts. Lively is finished.
He has said that the New York Times basically cherry-picked and altered communications and didn't give any context to anyone, which is true. He has text messages of Blake asking him to come to her trailer while she was breastfeeding so that they could discuss the next scene.
Hey, Blake. It is 2 in the morning. Hopefully this does not wake you up.
The golden couple, the internet's favorite lovebirds, the ones who have made everyone believe that playful social media roasting is the key to a perfect marriage. Turns out things might not be so perfect after all. Shocking, right? Who would have thought that behind the glamorous red carpet appearances and witty Instagram captions, there could be issues?
One of the biggest Blake Lively supporters on this app, this footage that I'm about to show you guys is going to make it really, really difficult for me. Sorry, but this girl just keeps digging herself into a hole that I cannot dig her out of. This behind the scenes footage of them filming a very romantic scene, and in the scene it is very apparent that Blake Lively is very comfortable and almost a little bit flirtatious. Just watch. This could have been well before he did something that made her feel uncomfortable. I'm not saying that SH did not happen on the set of this movie, but as new evidence becomes available, it is much harder to be on Blake Lively's side, and I am still trying. I think one of the final straws for me, honestly, was when this text message from Blake Lively was released. She basically referred to herself as Khaleesi and implied that Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift are her dragons. Ugh. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of either of them, so I'm really curious how this is going to play out in court, and I'm really waiting for the trial to form any concrete opinions about this.
So what now? Are we looking at the beginning of the end for Blake and Ryan? Not necessarily. Hollywood relationships are resilient, mainly because there are teams of PR experts working overtime to keep them that way. But what it does mean is that the fairy tale might not be as effortless as they'd like people to believe, and that in itself is enough to shake up their entire carefully curated image. Because here's the thing about celebrity relationships. Once the illusion starts to crack, it's hard to put back together. People start looking at every interaction differently. Every post, every comment, every red carpet appearance. Suddenly, it's all being analyzed through a different lens. And for a couple that has built their entire brand on being effortlessly in sync, that's a problem. So while fans may still swoon over their witty online exchanges, the reality might be a little less picture perfect. And as for Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, well, let's just say they have a lot more to manage now than just their next viral tweet.
I'm gonna stop rambling because Jesus Christ, it's been 6 minutes and 30 seconds, so fuck me. I'm sorry. You probably have kids all over you and a baby on your boob and you're listening to me ramble at 2 in the morning. I can't wait to spend more time with you. Oh.
Blake and Ryan Reynolds were getting bothered by him releasing so much that they asked a judge to put a gag order on Justin to shut him up because they were gagged. Their lawyer said that Justin has further made it clear that his priority is completely torpedoing Blake Lively's career for the rest of her life. And this could actually all be over in 3 days because Blake and Ryan just asked a judge to dismiss this whole court case because they are trying anything to get this to stop because it's ruining their careers. That will be held on February 3rd. Blake Lively is accusing Justin Baldoni of sexual harassment, followed by an attempted PR takedown of her to cover his own ass from people finding out what he did to her. In an article titled, "We Can Bury Anyone," Blake Lively heroically shared her story and the world was on her side because it looked like she was just trying to take down a predator in Hollywood. So Justin Baldoni and his ace lawyer launched an all-cylinder fire attack to clear his name, and he started by suing the New York Times, saying that article was just published because it was paid for by Ryan Reynolds and it was a multi-layered scheme planned out by Blake and Ryan to take down Justin. And I think it's pretty common knowledge that the mainstream media will lie on behalf of their powerful friends or anyone who pays them off to say certain things.
You think a celebrity couple has cracked the code to everlasting love, reality decides to crash the party. And now it's Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds in the spotlight.
And Reynolds, who's married to Blake Lively, who's in the court documents we're covering. Justin Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, slams Blake's motion. I'm going to share exactly what he had to say, the colorful verbiage to dunk on her response as she's trying to get out of this lawsuit. Blake Lively accusing Justin Baldoni of retaliating with his lawsuit on her. And then we have Justin Baldoni's lawyer saying Blake is abusing the system. To be quite honest, everyone I meet's Team Blake. I mean, other than Taylor Lorenz. Everyone's Team Justin Baldoni. I got that wrong. Everyone's Team Justin Baldoni. Even last night, when I did this stand-up show, there was a Q&A after, like with the host of the show, and I had a girl in the audience yell out, "That bitch!" I mean, that's crazy. People really that have followed this are either A, being duped, or they've got a good intuition, and it's really up to you to decide.
Now, let's talk about Ryan Reynolds, the man who can do no wrong in the eyes of the internet, the walking, talking meme factory, who has convinced everyone that being sarcastic on Twitter is a personality trait. But according to this little legal bombshell, his humor might not be working as well behind closed doors. Apparently, that playful, charming sarcasm, not so charming when it's a daily reality, because, surprise, not everyone wants to live in a never-ending comedy special, especially when the jokes stop being funny.
Every interview that Blake is in, there is some portion of it that there is like a staged Ryan Reynolds sort of question. So there was an interview I was watching where they showed Blake a video that they did of Ryan telling her to come home, and there's always like these really cutesy kind of staged moments, and normally, again, years ago would have found that adorable, but lately it has been so heavy, and I think it's because of the It Ends With Us promotions and marketing. It is also becoming very clear to me now that they have walked all over Justin Baldoni. He is the director of the movie, and it is just very evident that Blake, who was a producer, was kind of stepping on his toes while he's out there doing promotions of the movie.
Sources claim that while the world sees a fun-loving, deeply in-sync couple, there's been tension brewing for a while, and the lawyer's revelations confirmed what some insiders have been whispering. Blake's patience has been wearing thin. Sure, the couple has mastered the art of public banter, but in private, let's just say not every eye roll is in good fun.
He also has correspondence of Blake asking for the costumes to be sexier in the film, which really doesn't corroborate any of these claims she's been making about the fact that he was sexually exploitative. His lawyers have said, while their side embraces partial truths, we embrace the full truth, and we have all of the communications to back it. Public will decide for themselves, as they did when this first begun.
And then there's the issue of power dynamics. Hollywood marriages are rarely equal playing fields, no matter how much they pretend otherwise. Blake, despite being a star in her own right, has often been overshadowed by Ryan's larger-than-life internet presence. The lawyer reportedly exposed just how much that dynamic has affected their relationship. Turns out, when one person's brand relies on being the funny one, the other can start feeling like a sidekick in their own marriage. And Blake, well, let's just say she's not exactly the type to play second fiddle quietly.
Hi. Yes, I do sometimes go on camera, you friends. So, welcome to the channel. I hope everyone's having a good day. There is a lot to talk about, and I have to try to figure out where I'm looking. Okay, camera's right there. I am using my Mac camera right now, so I usually use a different camera, but I have to be looking at the screen because there's a lot that we have to go over, and I'm pretty, there's so much, and I have some clips that I have shared in different videos that I think are relevant to what was recently filed in court. And I recognize that some of you have probably already had an opportunity to find some of this information out, but welcome. So Ryan Reynolds is kind of a hot mess, and he recently filed a motion to dismiss. And here's the thing, federal court motions to dismisses in federal court are extremely hard to have pass. Like, for a judge to grant a motion to dismiss, there has to be a finding of like a technical issue of law. It has nothing to do with the facts of the case. Everyone that's on Blake's side now is arguing that California law doesn't apply to Justin Baldoni and Wayfair, but it applies for Blake. So what I notice a lot about with Blake and Ryan is that it's rules for thee, not for me. And it's just very much the way that narcissists rule the world.
And here's another interesting twist. The lawyer also hinted at external pressures playing a big role in their marriage dynamics. Hollywood's obsession with couple branding has turned relationships into business deals. And let's not pretend like Blake and Ryan haven't benefited from it. Their entire public image is built on being the funny, down-to-earth, relatable couple. But when that image starts feeling more like a performance than reality, the cracks start showing. Think about it. How many times have they strategically trolled each other on birthdays, anniversaries, and special occasions? It's cute, it's funny, but when the cameras are off, is it sustainable or is it exhausting? According to the lawyer, the latter is a lot closer to the truth. Maintaining an image takes work, and work takes effort. And effort, well, sometimes people just get tired of it.
It's now being reported that some of the cast and crew from It Ends With Us have been supporting Justin Baldoni during the alleged feud because they think he got screwed over by Blake Lively. And It Ends With Us source confirmed to TMZ that while there is a rift between the cast and crew, there's no clear-cut villain, and a lot of them are siding with Justin because he was a generally nice guy to work with, and he cared a lot about this film. The source told TMZ that the feud is more like a civil war. While some are siding with Blake, there's also cast members who feel Justin got screwed over. TMZ reports that several people from the crew understand why Justin did a solo press tour after Blake allegedly brought in her own film editor and her husband Ryan Reynolds to do last-minute rewrites of the script, even though it was supposed to be predominantly Justin's project. TMZ said they spoke to multiple sources who said that Blake was eager to be seen as the creator of the film.
But here's where it gets even more interesting. Apparently, this perfect couple has been keeping certain details under wraps for years. The lawyer's statements hinted at behind-the-scenes negotiations, carefully crafted PR strategies, and, wait for it, contractual agreements between the two. Because really, what's love without a little legal paperwork? It's almost like their relationship has been managed as meticulously as one of Ryan's Deadpool scripts. And Blake's reaction to all this, let's just say erupted, might be an understatement. If there's one thing she values, it's control over her narrative. Unlike some celebrities who thrive on oversharing, Blake has built her brand on selective exposure. So, having a lawyer air out these inconvenient truths, that's the kind of chaos she did not sign up for.
But it just seems to me that the Team Lively side has been caught really quite flat-footed on this whole thing, and yet they're the plaintiffs. They're the ones who had all the time in the world to prepare this before they file. So I know you've talked about this, but what is your view of that?
Yeah, that's the thing that was the strangest to me, was she claims to have, had all of this ready even when the initial New York Times article was published, right? They claim that they published this information because they had thousands and thousands and thousands of pages that they reviewed of evidence, and that's why they felt confident publishing this article. I didn't believe that there was, even 50 pages of information that they reviewed, but that's my own It's my own personal opinion, but it's where's the 1,000 documents that they reviewed then?
But let's not forget Ryan's response, because of course he didn't exactly sit back and let this unfold without some kind of damage control. And what does Ryan Reynolds do best? Make light of things. So naturally, instead of addressing the situation head on, he did what he always does. Cracked a joke, a deflection, absolutely, but also a tried and true strategy that's kept him on the public's good side for years. The problem? Not everything can be laughed off. And according to insiders, Blake wasn't exactly in the mood for another witty tweet when all of this came to light. If anything, his casual attitude toward the revelations only made things worse. Because let's be real, if someone is calling out cracks in your marriage and your first response is a joke, it kind of confirms the issue, doesn't it?
Blake Lively has filed to get out of this lawsuit, and this gets tricky because it applies to a new law in California that was actually enacted in January of 2024. Now, on its face, it can look like that she could get out of it, but there are some details in which I don't see how that's a possibility. And it also doesn't mean Justin Baldoni can't sue her again. Justin Baldoni's $400 million lawsuit. The move comes 2 days after her husband, Ryan Reynolds, asked the court to do the same. And the motion to dismiss, Lively's legal team cited a California law that protects individuals from retaliatory lawsuits if they report allegations of sexual harassment or misconduct. If successful, Baldoni could be on the hook to cover Reynolds and Lively's legal fees. This lawsuit is a profound abuse of the legal process. This is what's in this filing. So this lawsuit is a profound abuse of the legal process that has no place in federal court. California law now expressly prohibits suing victims who make the decision to speak out against sexual harassment or retaliation, whether in a lawsuit or in the press. Attorneys Mike Gottlieb and Ezra Hudson told Yahoo.
Then came the financial aspect. Because, of course, what's a Hollywood marriage without a little money drama? According to legal discussions, there have been some disagreements over investments, business ventures, and, shockingly, career sacrifices. It seems that while Ryan has been expanding his empire with Mint Mobile and Wrexham, Blake has had to press pause on a few of her own ambitions. And if there's one thing Hollywood loves more than a power couple, it's a power struggle disguised as mutual support.
Lively's motion, which was obtained by Yahoo, slammed Baldoni's vengeful and rambling lawsuit. I mean, just reading this, it is like venom. It is so disgusting, especially with all the evidence that we know. And just the idea that someone can just claim harassment falsely, ruin someone's life, or falsely claim sexual assault, ruin that person's life, and that person should just lie down and take it. There's nothing can be done about it. It's absolutely insane that this law, I understand why the law was done, but when you think about it, like, you can just, this is how people can get ahead. They can just threaten somebody and say, I will claim that you tried to sexually harass me if you don't do what I want.
Enter the lawyer, because nothing screams fairy tale romance like a legal expert stepping in to drop some cold, hard facts. Apparently, there's some rather unflattering truth lurking behind those carefully curated public moments. And when it came out, well, let's just say, Blake Lively wasn't exactly thrilled. In fact, she reportedly erupted, because really, who likes their marriage being dissected like a courtroom drama?